Shout out our sponsors, GW Competitions. They run regular draws for you to win different prizes from cash to Rolexes to cars and all sorts. It's all legit and the draw is run through the Google number generator. And the prize is delivered the next day, and if it's cash, it's transferred the same day. The draws are run on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. And you got to be in it to win it.
Back against Big Ego Media. Got a special guest today, Mr. 10 Gears. What's going on today, bro?
What's going on, bro, man?
Yeah, you see you're all attired smartly. Where you come from today?
Work, man.
Come from work. It's good to hear you say that.
Trust me.
Because a few years ago, this wasn't the case. So before we even get to that, we'd like to go back in time. Let us know where you're from, where you grew up, your family background.
Grew up in South London, originally from Clapham Junction. Mum moved to Wimbledon. Got family in Tooting as well, so that whole section. My dad lived in Clapham North as well, so all around there. My dad's Egyptian, my mum's Cuban, so that's my background and where I kind of grew up.
Okay, so growing up in a household, was it a two-parent household?
It was a two-parent household, but my dad and my mum split up and have a stepdad as well. Okay. So I had a dad and a stepdad as well as a family unit as well. So that's where I come from, a family unit, even though it was family and stuff happens, but it was, I like to believe that I come from it was a stable background.
What was there? Was there discipline in the household?
Yeah, I got beats. You know the one that got beats. You know the one that mum would give me beats, but my dad would discipline me. He wouldn't really beat me. He would discipline me, and
which way?
He used to make me. He used to make me hold stuff like, like push-up positions. Yeah. Stay in a push-up position. I remember when I was like 8, 9, he made me hold a hammer, standing up holding a hammer out, and if the hammer drops, you get beat. It's no joke. And then when I got older, it was 2. So I had to hold 2 hammers out.
So would you like to, when you're in the one hammer, would you like to interchange? Because after a while, the arm might get tired.
No parents, bruv, they're not trying to hear that.
And then one arm might become bolo, the other arm gets skinny. So.
You know, they're not trying to hear that. If the hammer drops, you get beat, and it's that simple. But like, that was it was discipline, but it's discipline, innit? Yeah. As well as this, when I realised that built me up mentally and physically doing them things there.
What's your fondest memory of childhood?
My dad taking me and my brother to Egypt every year.
Okay.
So like 6 weeks holiday, I was going to Egypt every year from young, I can't even remember. And my stepdad used to always tell me, you should be grateful because there's a lot of kids that are not in your situation or that get to leave the country them days at all. So I'm always grateful. That's probably, definitely the fondest memory I had for growing up.
So how was you in sort of school academically?
I was actually good, but my stepdad used to home teach me as well. So I think what they teach us back then, the information was not relevant to where it is today or even in general. Like, I know stuff about Tudors and Stuarts and just, It's not my.
It has no relevance to us now.
It's
but
history.
I guess living in Britain,
Yeah.
I love. Not to cut you, I actually love the history of the UK in regards to Normandy. But maybe because I was in jail, I actually read a lot of books about the Stuarts, the Tudors, and that. But you're saying that weren't for you.
I love history in general because my mum loves history, so I got that from her. But when I think back, like schools were kind of like most of the stuff that they taught, that I can't really think that I could apply it. Or that I still remember, apart from I just remember like Tudors and Stuarts and stuff like that, but I was very sporty in that sense from young, so I was very active. So I needed to do, I know myself where I need, even to today, I need to be doing multiple things or the devil makes worship for idle hands. If I'm not doing so much things, then I just become stagnant in that sense.
What was your kind of early interest in, like, hobby-wise, football, I'm assuming?
I think I got into football late, man. I don't know. Like, I think I got like 12, 13. I kind of really started really getting into it. But athletics I used to love. Running, swimming, rowing. I went sea cadets as well when I was younger. So them things there. I did like a bit of tennis. I think I got into football late, but then after that, I just loved football.
So then, when did you kind of hit the roads? What was the transition at that point?
I think I think the turning point for me was when I found out about money.
Yeah.
About the money, the power of it, what it can do, what it attracts, what it can buy. I think then, and I must have been like probably like 8, 9. I remember being 7, going to school with a £50 note, and my dad beating me after like. But I remember once money was a factor, everything changed.
Yeah.
Because I remember being 15, you know them ages you're playing football.
Yeah.
And I remember I got charged for Crystal Palace under 16s, and I got in. And I was on that edge. I feel like that was that edge at that time where I was delving into not going to school, kind of bunking, chilling with elder lot, just being observant and seeing what they do. And then the money factor came in, and I kind of just drifted onto that side of my own choice rather than over following. And because at school, I remember being at school, secondary school, and going W.H. Smith and Woolworths and robbing sweets and selling them in school, and Parker pens, and then buying the whole class like food at the end of the day. And so money was a factor from young. I knew about it from young. So then you start to think ways to get it, more ways to get it. How much more can I get? And it just followed on.
So the first kind of thing that got you your big amount of money, or perceived big amount of money at that time?
But I don't even know. I could say when it was like, when I was 18 and I started robbing shops.
Yeah.
That's what I could say, like, money started like, yo, okay. Because you're 18 now, everything's changed. It's a different ball. Your interests are changed, innit? So now it's girls, clothes, jewelry, whatever, all that stuff comes into play now. So you now, more money, you need more money, or you want more money.
Yeah.
So I think that's that when I hit like 18 and I started really, I linked up with someone, and then he showed me about shops and this and that, and then
to regards to kind
from there.
Robbing shops, like, what do you mean, sort of your everyday kind of corner shop, and then you run in?
At first it was like corner shops. It was like, remember top-up cards?
Yeah.
They used to sell top-up cards for phones. There were some people who didn't even know about the scratch-off cards and that, and they would come in a box of like $5,000.
Yeah.
And then we'd just go in there, take the whole box, whatever we do, distraction techniques or whatever, take the whole box, go, next area. So, you know, like, morning time I could be in Catford, afternoon I could be in Bow, then I'm in Tottenham, then I'm back in South, and then we'll just rob them, and then sell them onto the link, whoever we had, and we'll just buy half. And being like 18 and coming home with like $6-7 a day, you're like, you know, you're just like, and then after that, it's jewelry shops, post offices. But I didn't get past after all that because I ended up in jail, innit?
What was your first arrest?
My first arrest, it's gonna sound so silly. My first arrest was when I was 9. I think I was 9, and me and my brother had a little base in Clapham North. You know, you got like a little base where you'd go chill. We had a little base. Well, me and my brother, a couple of youngers on the estate, we'd go chill. And I remember we had some cake, and I had a butter knife. I don't know how police came, but they come to the place, innit? They stopped us and they found a butter knife on me, bro. And I got arrested for having a butter knife. My dad's house is literally across the road, not even 40 yards away. And I lived there, like, but they wasn't having it. Brixton Police Station. I remember I got a caution. Then, I think it was like 9 or 11, one of the two. But yeah, that was the first time I remember actually being arrested.
So, you didn't say the robberies escalated and then you finally got caught and you went to prison. Like, what's the story there?
So, them times, as you said, robbing shops. I was doing graffiti them times. Just out on the road. I never lived at my mum's. I was at hotels, and then I did a shop robbery. I think it was in Catford, and there's 3 of us. Robbed the shop. Had money on me. Had money from the shop. I remember ran out, and it was so crazy that we all split up, and I've ran, and I've looked over my shoulder, and I've seen a police van. Yeah. Literally pass across, and they must have seen me, and I've gone into the market. I think I've run into Superdrug. Police are looking for me. They come in, grabbed me. Tried to change my clothes. They've grabbed me, and then they've like, we literally got a call when we saw you. Yeah. So they went in my pocket, searched me, found like $3,000. They was like, "Where you going?" I was like, "I'm going car showroom." You know, car auction. Yeah. I mean, there's a car auction. And they literally got the call, and it was like, we literally got a call that you robbed it, that the shop got robbed, all black, got robbed. And then I went Woolwich Magistrates, pleaded guilty. I was like, I don't know the people in it. I tried to go GRS in it. Yeah. Like, magistrate, bro, I did it. I just said, let me just take it in it. I took it, got 3.5, did 21 months.
And were you all Feltham?
Pardon?
Where did they take you Feltham first?
Yeah, I went Feltham. In between the remand time, I was in Feltham, High Down, sentenced, and then I ended up in Portland at the end of the sentence.
What did your family say through that period? Like, wait a minute, this guy's ended up, or could they see it happening?
My mum knew from young that I was up to stuffs. My dad knew, because police needs to come to the house and that, obviously. Yeah. But even though I didn't even live there, they would just search, you know, they were looking for him. I would always phone home. My mum says, as long as I'm not making my mum come all the way to Portland.
Yeah, it's a myth. It's a myth.
Even my dad was old, so I'm not even, it's not working. So I'd phone my mum every other weekend, and she'd say, listen, as long as you phone and I know you're alive. She knows me. She knows I'm fine. Regardless of the situations that I've been in, whatever, I'm like to say that I'm blessed. I've had no injuries or anything like that. Even when I've went jail, I've been calm, and she just knows I'm alright. She said, as long as you phone, it's fine. 1 or 2 friends come visit me. My brother. Apart from that, head down, man. Yeah.
So after 21 months, how long did you do? 10 months, 9 months?
No, I did 3.5. The 3.5 sentence, I did 21 months of the 21 months.
So, plus came out of prison. What was the thinking at that point?
It's back out, man.
Back out again.
Why, innit? You know, man's just hungry, like, them, at that time, I think that was like, I think it's like 03 to 05 I ended up doing. So it was like 18 to just before my 21st. I'm hungry. Yeah. Like, I'm hungry. I'm back. Let's go, innit? So it's like, let's go again, innit?
So back to the robbing shops again.
Back to the. Yeah, man.
How long was you out for before you got apprehended?
There weren't nothing. There was like 3 months. I think it was like 3 months, bro. Yeah. I think it's like 3 to 4 months out. Came out, trying to get back on my feet. 3 months, tried to get back on my feet, linked up with my brother and my cousin and that, and then, we got licked down for the big thing.
So talk us through that, what happened?
So, long story short, in a sense, was my brother and my cousin. As I said, I was trying to get back on my feet, etc., etc. And I had a warrant. I didn't know, but apparently I had a warrant out for my arrest. So, with my partner at the time, my ex, I was, she was from West, but I was staying in Portsmouth. So I was coming through South, going back to Portsmouth. And I just was walking in Tooting, and I jumped off. I said goodbye to my brother and that, about to jump on the train to Oswald to go to Wimbledon, just to go to head to Portsmouth ways.
Yeah.
And police car drove by and they stopped. So I'm just thinking, it's nothing in it. I didn't even know I was on the board, so I didn't think nothing. So they stopped and they, oh, yeah, like, what's your name, innit? So I gave my cousin's name, innit?
Yeah.
My cousin's name, date of birth, no. Talking, I got a bottle of Ribena in my hand. They're like, Ra, can you put the bottle down? All right, cool. Like, I went to put the button down and the policeman tried to do some, you know, the cuffs?
Yeah.
You know, they can flick. He's like, tried to, yo, what are you doing? So I'm like, Jim screeched. And then, bruv, it was just on from there, like, it was just on. So we're scuffing on the road, right outside the train station. They're trying to arrest me, it's not working. They're trying to pin me down with the scuffing. I kind of get away. And I got a bottle on me. CSCS gas, which got later to find out to be sulfuric acid. So I've stepped out into the road and I pulled out the bottle, all impulse, I don't know what it, pulled it out, sprayed it. Next one's come, I'm trying to run around the car. Next one's come, sprayed it at him. And then all I heard was screaming. I could just hear screaming. I'm not even looking in it, gone. Jumped around, gone around the back of the train station, jumped up from the grass bit, trains come up. I jumped on the train outside of the train or something. Jason bought helicopter. Hey, listen, helicopter come.
Tom Cruise at Mission Impossible.
The train, it was mad because I've come up the side of the thing, the trains come. I don't know, I'm just thinking I don't want to get clocked by cameras. No, this, train come, wait, hood up, jumped on the outside, train went to the next station, jumped on the inside of the train, went to the next stop, backtracked, got out of the station, jumped on a bus for a few stops down, phoned the missus. I was like, listen, a madness has just happened, innit? Like wait, I'm coming now, innit? And explain the situation. Ended up in Portsmouth, messaged my brother. But apparently, after that, police knew it was me, innit? So they saw my brother and he was on a motorbike and they licked him down. They licked him off the bike and they're like, listen, where's your brother, innit? We're trying to find him. Let him, tell him it's best he hand himself in because it's only armed police are gonna stop him, innit? So it's best you hand himself in. So from then, I was on a run. My brother said, listen, send your chip in it. Dashed away my chip, whatever. And then about 3 weeks later, sleeping in bed, woke up, had a premonition. You know, you woke up, I was just like, I saw them come for me.
Yeah.
And I woke up, she's like, what's wrong? She woke up, nothing, talk to you. Went back to sleep. 2 hours later, bro, 5 in the morning, bam, lick off the door, don't move, guns, shields, don't move. Took me police station. It was like, listen, you can't go Wandsworth. I'm gonna have to take you Kingston, went Kingston. Made that phone call, I said, listen, I'm not coming home, innit? You know, once I said, listen, I told her, listen, it's best you go, innit?
This your partner at the time?
21, yeah, I'm 21. I'm just, listen, I know, brother, I'm not coming home. I'm saying, listen, it's best you go, innit? I'm not coming home. All right, no. All right, cool, innit? That was it, bruv. Went guilty. No trying to be sexy. Can't beat police credibility. So I got GBH ×2 on 2 police officers. And that time was when IPP just came around, 2005, 2006. So the judge made an example of, man, Kingston Crown as well.
That's
And
what I got sentenced.
He was like, listen, if there was no IPP, I would have gave you a 14. But because this is here now, I think you're a danger to the public. So I'm going to give you an IPP, 2 7s run concurrent. So it means I do a 7, but I've got to do parole. But on the system...
So your tariff was 7 years minimum?
Minimum. Yeah. But you know, them ones there, them days, they didn't even know. So you know, you're going to the... I'm on the call, I'm like, yes. I'm like, that's not bad. I don't even know what IPP. You know, there was there, court period, 7 minimum. All right, cool. My mum, looking at my mum, was like, it's all right, man. Then when I've got down, they've kind of explained, not really listening. Then when you've gone to this, when I got to jail, and I looked on the system, and it all says 99 years. On the system, you know, you're typing it in, it says 99. That's a bit, bro, I just been told I got 7. What are you talking about? Telling the gums like, bro, it says 7. Will you mean 99? And that was, that's what they licked me with, boy, 2 7s.
So when you're sitting in your cell at that time, after the day after sentencing, and are you thinking, fucking hell, my life's done?
Do you know, it was, from there, it was just like, it wasn't even thinking my life's done. I told myself, because of the crime I did, I knew I would have to do that little bit extra compared to the normal man to get home. The next day, they sent me to Wandsworth. The next day I was putting in for every course in education. Every course. The papers, I was in the papers, Sun, Mirror, South London Press. Wrote a letter to the South London Press explaining, you know, the ones there. That I knew I had to do that little bit extra because the police are the last line of defense.
Yeah.
You know, the ones there. It's as close as an M. It's as close as an M because it's the police. So, and I knew I was going to come home, but I just didn't know when. But I knew that I had to do more. If I'm coming home, I have to be good and do what I have to do to get home.
What was the toughest point while you was in prison? What was the thing that really hit hard? 2 points.
You know, there's a time, man, where it's just like, you know, you have them days as well, where there's times you're just like, bruv, man, want to go home. Man's done enough, bruv. You know, like, the 7's come now. The 7's done. Man's like, bruv, man, want to go home. Like...
So you've done the 7 years that was a minimum.
Yeah, you know, when you do the 7, you pass the time now. Man's passed the tariff. Man's like, even before that, you know, like, bruv, man, want to go. But you know you've passed the tariff now, and now you're waiting. It's like, how long are you going to do after, bruv? Man, want to go home. Even them, you know, them days, summer, no windows. Man just praying outside. Man just, I hope it's raining. Just bad nigga NGO people, man. Bro, I hope it's raining out there. Man, don't want no attention, nothing until man's home.
And you can see today the heat is mad.
Man, know how it feels.
Outside right now, the heat is mad. So remember, people are looking forward to exercise yards to walk around in circles
for an hour. Get me looking at the women govs like, yo. So it's like, yeah, when man did that 7, it's just like I'll say there's 2 points. 1 point was when my ex left me, and in that same period, there was a madness that happened on the wing, where they found something like 30 knives on the wing, in the freezer.
What jail was this?
Suicide. They found like 30 knives. The whole wing got locked down, and they shipped out about 20 man. And 5 of the man were my closest friends. Yeah. So I lost the missus, and I lost my bedrooms. That point, I think I was 25, I think 25, 26, around there. That point there, I was like, I'm done, I'm going home. I'm done. No more bunning weed, no more champagne, no more rare tears. Man's going home. And after that, I put my head down.
But she stayed for 7 years until she finally came out.
I think it was 6.
6 years. Until
she stayed for 6.
And what was the breaking point for her? Like, this is getting long now.
You'd have to ask her, man. I can only assume, innit?
Because I mean, we were just speaking earlier, and I just see Casanova put up a post. What did you say? He said, if you really love someone, you don't just abandon them, and if you do abandon them, it's only using them. But I'm like, Brother, you're just saying this because you're in jail, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that because she used to go, oh, you abandoned me. I said, listen, I didn't abandon you. They took me away. You know, they took me away from you. They took me away, but like, I told her, innit, like, I forgive you. I told her I forgive you, and that probably bun even worse compared to man going, bounce, innit, man don't care, no. That probably bun her. I told her, listen, I forgive you. Like, it's cool, I understand. Obviously, that little bit there is going to fuel man now, innit? You know, the ones there, watch my man come home, that little period, watch my man come home kind of thing. But it was just like, it is what it is. I'm a knuckle down. And that's what I did, bruv.
So then you finally got your DCAT, and DCAT, for those who don't know.
Well. From Sosa.
For DCAT, for those who don't know, it's basically when you go to an open prison where they start letting you home for weekends and let you get a job and stuff. So I think me and you came to Ford on the same week.
Possibly.
I think the same week.
Because we was both on the billets.
Or both on the same spur.
We was both on the same billet.
Yeah. But remember, I think the first night they brought you over, you got called by phone the same day.
Remember?
I was banged up with Attacker from Dagenham. And they were what's going on? And everyone put their phones away quickly.
Bro.
And I'm like, well, who's this guy that just messed up the whole billet? And now we've got bloody Jake's at the billet.
Bro.
I mean, what? I think they caught you with the phone, you tried to dash it or something.
Bro, it wasn't even mine. You in the cell, because you know this is new to man now.
Yeah.
Man's in open. This is not, when man's broke it down to me about closed conditions, they're like, bruv, it's not open, it's not the same, bruv. Man are handing the phones over. Like, if govs are coming, they people are giving the phone. I'm like, what you be giving? Closed conditions, bruv. Like,
it's not happening.
Bruv, you need to bring flying squad. You know, you need to, you shields, bruv. We're not giving things over. So, I was in the cell that night and the guy's phone was acting up. All I said is, let me see. Bearing in mind, I haven't touched the phone in like since 2009. It's 2013 now. 14.
It's 14, yeah.
Because I remember Arsenal won the FA Cup. And I said, bro, let me see. I literally had the phone in my hand, not even 5 seconds, bro.
Yeah.
Literally. And then I held it over my shirt. All I heard was, I'll have that. Over the shoulder, I'll have that. So you know, I've looked over. Like, what you talking about? Like, have what? Phone. There was no phone, bruv. Like, my man's trying to stretch now, hand up. Like, I put my hand on him now, moved him away. Now it's a little tussle. Like, my man's trying to come in. I'm just like, bruv, I'll just wrap you up. So I'm half wrapping him up, and then I dashed the phone down the corridor. Yeah. He's hit the cell. Remember Ash, the light-skinned buddy? He was in there. I mean, he was high on rice.
And that's, I mean, we'll go back to the story. And Ash is someone I'd known in prison in Rye Hill from before. So I think he's an IPP as well, isn't it, on life? Yeah. And he'd been in jail a long time. And to see how rice affected him was mad. But that
drug was dangerous. I spoke to him the other day as well. He's blessed, man. He's doing well. And I remember I threw it, hit his door, went in, and the gov tried to go, and I've grabbed him, you know, almost like to delay the time. Grabbed him for about 5 seconds. I've let him go. The gov's gone down there. My man's come out with the phone in his hand with his eyes like, the gov just, you know? Oh my God. Then they've come back. I'm stressed now, innit? They've come back, the SO's come.
And you're thinking I'm going back to it.
Bruv, I'm rolling up a burn, bruv. My man's like, roll a burn. My man's like, roll a burn. You can see I'm like, And then he sat me in the office and he goes, like, what happened? I think they knew that it weren't mine. But it was because I put my hand on him. Remember, I'm in for violence as well. I had no violence all the way through the sentence. Last time I was nicked to like 2009, 600 years, no nickings, clean. So he's like, did you put your hands on him? I'm like, no. He said, there's a whole billet there. Remember, bearing in mind, we know, innit, he's only one up. If there was two man now, it's even more technical, but he's got no one to back him up. So I've got, no, like, I didn't. When the nicking came, I went to this, when we got back, he's like, all right, cool, you're due to get a nicking in the morning. No. Gone back to the cell. And waiting in the, I said, bro, we need to pray tonight. We need to pray tonight. Because I just pray that he doesn't say that there was any violence. When the nicking came in the morning, my guy didn't even say nothing about violence. He just said he had a phone and he gave it to me. Went to the nicking. the security gov. Remember my man, the security gov, the main one.
The big one,
Yeah,
hedge one.
the main gov for the security. He was on the board, and then one of the officers that were there knew my little brother. So we was talking, and then he goes, I can see this is a blip. You know, I can see this is a blip. You ain't been nicked from whenever. No. I can see this is a blip. They knew it weren't mine, but I got found on me, bro. Plead guilty. So he gave me a suspended sentence. It was a canteen, whatever.
I'll give forward this. Is that they give you that one chance.
They give you
'Cause
that
remember,
life.
I got bagged. And I ended up missing one of my brother's wedding.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, when they came, I was wounded. I was like, But I was moving bait in it because everyone's to come to the cell, the phone will be there, the food shop and everything.
Everything.
But like,
They give you that life there.
they gave me that life, and then obviously when you don't learn the week before, they got rid of man.
I remember.
But like, the memories I had before that time was the football rivalry me and you had, and
Amazing.
that like weekly we was battling to who's the best in the jail. And I'll give it to you. Even to this day, I don't think you're better than me, but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you in the sense that you was fit. You was fit, so therefore you can. When I put on weight, and remember in food, I was huge as well. I had a food shop, so biscuits, chicken.
You're gonna like I wasn't an active person to come by.
No,
but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know.
And then the race as well, the 100-meter race
Forgot
that we
about
done
that,
as
you
well.
know.
And I done my hamstring as well that day. Oh, I remember.
I forgot about that, you know.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But like, obviously then I went home, and then
I remember
think
he was I was talking to you from the block.
Yeah, a week before a week before I went home, they got me. But then I finally went home anyway, and then I remember you finally getting your parole. And how was that feeling for you being out and getting your parole?
That's the second most hardest bit of the sentence.
Yeah.
Is waiting for that answer.
Yeah.
Because you sit on the board in front of 3 people, they don't know you, etc., and they're just grilling you. Random questions, like even my name, like, did you change your name or something? Like they want a reaction, but waiting for that.
Because they're trying to get like you being radicalized or something.
Yeah, they want to get something out of you on that board because they want to know if you're ready to go outside. So they want to see if you got any aggression or anything. I don't know how it is for other people, right? Certain questions that they asked, they wanted to get something from me, or thinking that I was going to be ignorant or back talk or something. But that little process, sitting on the board in front of people is hard, but waiting for that answer is the hardest bit. And when you get that answer, and I remember being on the landing and getting the letter, and I was, it's just like being a remand busing case.
Yeah.
That feeling, it's like, yes. And then walking out the jail, man's home. That's what it was like.
Then when you're finally out, like, what's the difference? Because you spent a decade in prison and come out now. I mean, for me, it was 8 years and things have changed. What was the biggest change you see coming out? Because me, it was just on the bus, going on the bus, like, right, what? It's all Oyster cards now. You can't pay on the bus. You can't buy a ticket.
Yeah, remember where we're in open, we're going.
Oh yeah, he's going back and forth.
We're going home. We're going town and home. So we slowly, I've got adjusted, innit? The biggest thing for me was my little sister, because when I went in, she was 10.
Yeah.
Then when I touched, she was 20.
Yeah.
She was down there, and then now she's
Big
6'2". So that showed me time.
Okay.
That showed me time. Well, that obviously.
Wait, she's 6'2".
She's 6'2".
Where are you so short? Where you get the jeans from then?
She got it from my granddad, innit? I don't know where I got mine from, bro. Someone, I don't even know, bro. I swear, it's bad. But what was I saying? That was the thing for time, my sister, seeing my sister and how tall she was, and that she's a woman now. Obviously things change outside and road, but there's a lot of things that are still the same. Some buildings are the same. Technology changes. Like you said, we was inside. There's not a lot that we didn't really know about that was going on outside, but until you really touch. So.
And I guess what I'll say as well, you're a testament to the things I told people while in the jail that I was going to do when I came out. I told people I'm going to do a football thing, and when you man come and join. So you actually came and joined Hackney Football Club at its early infancy in 2016, I believe, and made you captain. And I think I'm kind of doing something similar with Aggie right now as well, who's been in and around us. So we'll talk about him another time. But How important was that for you then to sort of come out and just find something to concentrate on? Although the money wasn't really coming in, but at least you had a focus, you had a bit of responsibility as being a captain of a team.
That did, because that first year when I touched, I wasn't working, I had no bank account, had no ID, so I had to do all that process again. And you know I love football, innit? I love football. It needs to be, wherever I go, I need to be at least playing or doing something with football. So where you said where we met and you said you got the class that I come down, even though it was in East and I live in South, it was nice to have that responsibility and then be made captain for the team. Even when we had 2 other managers and they wanted coaches, they made me captain as well, to have that responsibility, knowing as well as the team was young. So it was good to have that, as well as me going through whatever I was going through while touching, trying to get back on my feet. So it was a bit of weight on my shoulders. It was a bit of weight on my shoulders, but it was definitely needed, and it was, football's one of the only places that I feel free. So it's a passion. So I loved it regardless.
So in the midst of all that, I guess at the time as well, of course, there's that struggle of coming out of jail and being broke and trying to see what the next process in. And then, I mean, talk us through in regards to, I mean, like I said, you're suited and booted today. You're just coming from work as a manager. So, I mean, talk us through that process of how you got to where you are now.
So I started working on the railway when I was playing for Hackney Wick, them days. And then I think like a year later, I said, I want to be a manager, innit? I didn't know exactly where, but it was like construction, railway kind of based. But the route to the railway was a bit, what they were offering wasn't really, and the route wasn't really too good. So I passed a course, a site manager's course, invested in myself. I think it was like 500 something pound. It was like a month course, 2 days a week. Mashed that out, passed the course, and then the projects that I was working on the railway stopped. They started slowing down. There was only like one, even to this day, there's still like probably like one big project going on. The H2, I can't remember what it's called, H something, from London to Birmingham, that project. So I told myself, all right, cool, I'm gonna jump into construction because it's a similar trade and the skills can interchange between the two. So I was just looking for general jobs, general labouring jobs. And then when I go there, I'll be like, oh, I passed I've got this qualification, like, what can you do? So then on site, man would be like, there would be sometimes like a 3-month contract. Sometimes it could be like 2 weeks. But they'll be like, all right, we'll make you ganger. Ganger's like the leader of the team on site, or we'll make you supervisor. Bump up the pay, cool. Put that on the CV. Then I'm still looking, little one. Then managed to, I can't remember how I found it. There was something in Clapham Junction called Work Match, and I just happened to randomly stumble across it. They offer jobs within the borough, and I've gone now. I've like told them I've got my CSCS card, but I'm looking for managerial roles. I'm not looking for normal labouring jobs. I'm not looking for no apprenticeship work. I want a manager job. And they was like, when they saw everything, even all the qualifications that I got from jail, it's ridiculous. They was like, okay, we're gonna search. And some lady, she was a project manager at Battersea Power Station. She just grew to me for some reason. She was like, I'm gonna look for you. She found me an apprenticeship project manager role on Tideway, which is the sewer that's getting built underneath the Thames. It's a £5 billion project from, I think it's like Acton to Greenwich. Went for that. Interview in London Bridge, never got it. That burnt me, because I put so much energy into that and it never came. And I think I must have been depressed for about a month. I swear to God, I must have been depressed for about a month. Literally, I was depressed. And then she said, I really think you should have got that, but it's cool. But she said she liked me, she said, I'm gonna still look for you. And then she said a roles came up as a site manager for bricklayers in Clapham Junction. So I said, let's go. Went for it, went for the interview. The guy liked me. She phoned me about a day later. She was like, what job did you go for? I went for the job that you said, like some site manager, bricklayer. There was like, I was, yeah, what did you go for? Did you go for a site manager job or apprenticeship plumber or something? I said, you know what I went for? Apparently the role that I went for wasn't the role. There was no role. So I must have got, it was mad. It was just like it wasn't her that sent me, it was some next guy in the place that I went to. So then she said, cool. Then she phoned me the next day and she said, an opportunities came up at the back of Clapham Junction for a trainee construction manager. It's me, just tell me the date, the time, location. That's all I need to know. Said that, went there. Sat down in an interview with the guy. Bruv, I think the guy knew, bruv. He must have knew. He didn't say, but he knew because there's a big gap. What you been doing from 2000? He didn't even say, but there was there's a big gap from like 2000, from 2016.
What you been doing?
From 2006, isn't it? It's 5. Like where he didn't even say that, but it's just like, and I don't even think I even tried to fill in the gap with that time there. I've kind of filled it in, like the courses that I've done in jail, economics, that journalism, media, whatever. And then he goes, just tell me about you. He just goes, right, just tell me about you. So I told him about me, where I'm from, whatever. And then he goes, I like you. I want you to come in tomorrow and meet the operations manager. He's the operations director. So I said, okay. Same time tomorrow, suited and booted, came in. Guy asked me the same thing. He didn't ask about experience. He was just like, right, just tell me about you. Same question, same thing. Told him about me. And then he was like, most people when they want to do this or whatever, they just want a job to get paid. Yeah. You get me? So I say, I can't remember what I said, but I said something about career. I said something about career. He was like, that's what I'm looking for. But he said, listen, Peter already liked you. He just wanted me to second you, innit? He just wanted me to second. I was already in. Next thing I know, contracts just getting sent through email. First time in my life that I'm signing fucking work contracts. 30 pieces of paper, pension, this, that, confidentiality and all these things. And so then, yeah, signed all that stuff and then jumped into the job. I think it was like 2 months later, September, a month before my daughter was getting born. And then he said, my operations director said, listen, if you show me what you put in, you get out. Show me and I'll put you through to uni. 3 months in, bam, I was doing my uni, put me through, doing that. Bearing in mind, this is the mad, bearing in mind, when I got that role, I was on 18K. That burn, man. I was getting paid more on the railway. Because I was getting paid good money. I was getting paid like nearly 4 bags a month when I was working on railway. Maybe more sometimes. That time, when I got this role and it was like 18K, because I was like, at least give me £15 an hour. But it's monthly pay. You know, the ones there. But they was like, you can't really, it was either I take it or I don't. You know, the ones there, babies come in. So I said, you know what? I'll take it. 18K, dead. But in that 3 months, boom, got to the uni. Then 3 months later, got a pay raise. Then after that, COVID lick. Put me on furlough. Didn't think I was gonna be still with the company. Then was on furlough 3 months. Phoned my operation director. I was like, do you know what's going on? They said, don't worry, you're gonna get a phone call. Don't worry. Then 3 months later, got the phone call, and then they said, right, you're going 9 Elms, 110 City. I'm like, that's Vauxhall. I was working in Junction. That's one more stop now, or two, just 2. Went there now. New project, £300 million project, like 808 apartments that are getting built, the biggest swimming pool in Europe, leisure swimming pools getting built there. And then met operations manager, explained where I come from, new place, you know, the ones that new people. So he's like, all right, cool, gotta make you assistant site manager, innit? at first I was doing logistics, but he made me assistant site manager. And then 6 months in, I asked for a progress review, innit?
Yeah.
Because what I've realised now with these type of jobs, there's no program. There's no like, this is what I want you to do. You're going to be doing this. You've got man setting you goals and bruv, you're in the deep end. You're swimming or you're not. No one's teaching like really, which is wrong as well, especially where the thing that I come through, because I know another guy that's in a similar, he came through the similar route, and he says the same. There's no fucking, they just dash you in, bruv. Dash you in. It's a fast-paced industry.
But do you think that's helped you out? Because it makes you have to...
It has, because it shows...
Work on your feet.
It shows character.
And maybe it's all part of the test for them.
Maybe. It's a cutthroat industry, but as well as you either sink or you swim in it, so it can be that, innit?
Yeah.
It shouldn't really be, but you can say it's that. But I've been grateful enough in the 2 projects that I've been on with this company. I've had good site managers that I've been under that have shown me knowledge. Before, I couldn't understand RCPs, receptive ceiling plans, internal setting out. You know, then I couldn't understand. I could put down a piece of paper and it would just look like Chinese, bruv. Now it's just like, I just print that stuff A3 paper, like, raw, that looks right. Let me get my tape measure, I'll go check that wall. Let me check if that's right. And I learned that myself.
And I'm sure that's giving you kind of peace of mind, because now you got a career and you're now a father, and in terms of responsibility that brings you, how does that make you feel as a man?
It makes me feel even better. That's what I'm saying. Within 6 months, sat down, had the meeting, and basically it was like, where I'm working, we've got 2 buildings. One's 56 floors, one's 36. I'm working on a 36 story, so it's like 9 apartments on each floor. 1.3 million for one bedroom, 1.6 for 2. And then after the meeting, I was like, I need a challenge, because I was coasting. I need a challenge. Let me have a floor. Operation manager, cool. Then I spoke to my site manager, I was like, let me have 2. He was like, yeah, that's fine. Level 16 and 17. Bearing in mind, we was like, that time there, we was on probably like a level 11, 12, 13. So we're coming up to 16, 17, innit? So it's time to kick into gear now. I know the process is what we have to do to get everything done. And operations director called me and he was like, do you know what? I've got an even better plan. How about you take the whole white box? I was like, cool, let's go. So level 16 to 36, 9 apartments. Once the windows go in, the facade, dry liner wall, plumbing, electric, underfloor heating, plastering, ceiling grids, sprinklers, all that stuff going up to the mist coat. The first mist coat is what I manage from that level 16 to 36. And that there makes man just feel like, where man was and where we are now, it's just like.
And what I'll say as well, it's like, it's a beautiful story, but it's also a story, I guess, would have kind of many regrets, right? Because you lost your father recently as well, in the last couple of years.
Yeah, 2 years now.
2 years now, and condolences again.
Thank you, bro.
And to spend those 10 years in jail, and then to achieve everything you have achieved, and him not being able to witness that, I mean, that's a message in itself for young people.
It is.
To know how it's not worth it, because right now he'll be absolutely proud of you for what you've done.
Definitely.
So, I mean, how does that make you feel, if you want to touch on that? Because
it's a lot of missed time. As I said, before, when I came out, I got to see him for about, I think it's like a year. He was very ill. He was old as well. So he lived a good life. But out of the 10 years that I was in, I only saw him once. And that was when I just got sentenced and they shipped me from Wandsworth to Brixton. Yeah. So I only got to see him once in that period. And then when I came out, I got to spend not even the whole year in it, because I'm coming out. He was in an old people's home in Peckham, so I was passing through every other weekend. But my stepdad said, like, he can rest now. He knows you're fine.
That's
I remember
beautiful.
I know when he saw me, He's like, Amir. And he was getting, you know, the loss of memory, the mental thing, he's getting lost of, but when he saw me, and my dad said, trust me, bro. He was like, trust me, he knows you're home, he can sleep, he can rest now. And even though that was the first time I broke down since when he died, I was in the hospital. That's the last time I remember actually breaking down was when I got put into care when I was 14. So 14 to 30, like 20 years, something like 20 years. That day, never broke down in jail, none of that stuff. That day, I broke down. And yeah, so as you said, that's a testament, bro. And time waits for no one, bro.
I mean, what I'd also say that you have also aided in the achievements of Hackney Wick Football Club. Like I said, you came in at a time where we were an amateur team, wasn't even semi-pro yet. You came as captain, and even when we reached our semi-professional status, and then we lost all of our sponsorship. I used to get all the players to come out with me, like, yo guys, we're just gonna do fundraising. People say, yeah, I'm coming. You done a whole week with me, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m, 12-hour shifts for a whole week in the cold.
I remember, bro.
So that's something that I'll always commend you and always remember you for as well, because at that time, Hackney Football Club was on the brink. Basically.
I remember, man. I remember you told me. I remember you made the phone call in the chat.
We had to pay for this, had to pay for that, and nothing was working at the time as well. So that's something that will be in the history of Hackney Football Club as well, man.
My brother's keeper, man.
Yeah, here you go, man.
Come on, man.
And then we just put the team back together recently as well. We had a couple of games.
Which is nice.
So what's the future for you now?
For me, obviously my dad, so my daughter, she's nearly 2, so she's my main focus. I don't know if I want to be, like, the construction industry is so big and there's so much sections you can branch off to. It's ridiculous. It's not just plasterers and plumbers, and there's so much roles you can do. So as I say, I'm still doing my HND, and I want to eventually, do more courses. So I don't know if I want to go into like working for the Health and Safety Executive, HSE, or working for one of the government bodies eventually or something like that, and branch out. I can if I want to, innit? So I'm just currently learning certain programs that are running, certain programs and software at the moment to put on my CV and make me a cut above the rest, because even at uni, my tutor's like, you're the future. People like you are the future within the industry, because you're working, you're doing this, and because we're in a fast-paced industry and what's going on, this is ideal. Like, there's not many people that get an opportunity like I've been given on site like this with a big project like this. Some people have to wait years. And I'm grateful, and I say I'm grateful to have a site manager, Zane, amazing man. Amazing man as well still. Knowledge drops gems on me, and even the team around me as well. So I don't actually know the actual route I'm gonna go. I'm just pushing as much as possible and learning as much as I can and trying to gain as much experience to wherever I can take it eventually. And then eventually go back home, bro, go back Egypt.
Okay.
If anybody wants to phone me, just phone me, man. Site manager thing there, you see me? I'm built you hard.
Hey guys, there's a Big Ego Media interview, and that was Mr. 10 Gears. It's a wrap.